Bugatti didn't think that we were going to be able to separate this car in half.
The $6 million Bugatti sat motionless in the workshop, looking more like a pile of broken carbon fiber than one of the most exclusive hypercars ever built. Its front end had been completely destroyed. The airbags had exploded on impact. Critical structural components were damaged, and some of the most expensive engineering ever fitted to a road car had been compromised. But surprisingly, the crash wasn't the biggest obstacle standing between this Bugatti and the road. The real problem was that the company that built it had effectively turned its back on the car. Bugatti had blacklisted the vehicle's VIN number, cutting off access to replacement parts and refusing to provide technical support outside its official repair network. According to the manufacturer, the only acceptable solution was to send the car back to the factory for repairs. That would cost approximately $1.7 million. To most people, that would have been the end of the story. After all, who would attempt to rebuild one of the world's most complicated hypercars without factory support? Yet one man looked at this impossible challenge and decided he would prove everyone wrong. What made this story even more remarkable was the car itself. This wasn't an ordinary Bugatti Chiron. It was a Chiron per Sport, one of only 60 examples ever produced, designed to be more aggressive, more responsive, and more focused than the standard Chiron. It represented the absolute peak of automotive engineering. Hidden beneath its sculpted bodywork was a monstrous W16 engine equipped with 4 turbochargers capable of producing 1,500 horsepower. Every component had been designed to push the limits of performance, which is why many experts believed that repairing such a vehicle outside Bugatti's factory would be virtually impossible. The journey began when Miami-based automotive content creator Alex Gonzalez purchased the wrecked hypercar at auction for approximately $1.9 million. Although that figure sounds enormous, it was only a fraction of the vehicle's original value. Most buyers would have seen nothing but risk. The car carried a salvage title, severe crash damage, and a manufacturer blacklist that made sourcing replacement parts almost impossible. Nevertheless, Gonzalez believed there might be a way to bring the hypercar back to life. To make that happen, he turned to Matt Armstrong, a self-taught mechanic from Leicester who had built a reputation for restoring vehicles that most people considered beyond saving. Even Armstrong understood that this challenge would be unlike anything he had faced before. The damage was extensive, and there was no official repair manual available to guide the process. Every step forward would require research, creativity, and problem-solving. The first major challenge involved separating the vehicle's structure so the full extent of the damage could be assessed. Many people believed this procedure could only be carried out at Bugatti's headquarters using specialized factory equipment. Bugatti itself had suggested that the process required proprietary tools unavailable to independent workshops. Yet Armstrong's team was determined to find out whether that was really true. What happened next shocked the automotive world. Using a standard 2-post lift and equipment that could be found in a typical workshop, the team successfully separated the vehicle. A procedure that, supposedly required factory-exclusive tools, had been completed using ingenuity and determination. For many viewers following the project, this was the first indication that perhaps the barriers surrounding the repair of hypercars were not as insurmountable as they appeared. As the Bugatti came apart, the true extent of the crash damage became visible. Cooling systems had been destroyed. Structural mounting points were damaged. Multiple components required replacement or extensive repair. Yet hidden beneath all the destruction was a discovery that changed everything. Against all odds, the legendary W16 engine had survived. The enormous power plant remained intact despite the violence of the crash. In that moment, the project transformed from an impossible dream into a challenge that might actually be achievable. However, surviving was only the beginning. The gearbox mounting structure had been designed to fail. During a crash, in order to absorb energy and protect more critical systems, repairing it would require specialist welding and extraordinary precision. Experienced fabricators carefully restored the damaged component using advanced TIG welding techniques, saving a part that many believed would need complete replacement. Every successful repair brought new hope, but it also revealed new obstacles waiting around the corner. The biggest challenge remained the parts shortage. Since Bugatti refused to supply components, the team was forced to create many of them from scratch. Rather than allowing the project to stall, they transformed themselves into manufacturers. Custom crash structures were fabricated by hand. Precision machined components were designed and produced without access to factory blueprints. Some individual pieces required dozens of hours of painstaking work before they met the standards required for installation. Perhaps the most impressive achievement involved the cooling system. The Chiron per Sport relies on an intricate network of radiators and heat exchangers to manage the enormous heat generated by its 1,500 horsepower engine. Without access to official specifications, recreating these components appeared almost impossible. Yet through careful measurements, engineering expertise, and relentless determination, the team successfully produced 10 custom radiators capable of performing the same critical functions as the originals. As months passed, the Bugatti slowly began resembling a complete vehicle once again. The interior was meticulously restored to match its original white tan purple specification. A custom exhaust system was developed to replace damaged components. Creative solutions were found for safety systems, including the use of compatible components sourced from within the Volkswagen Group. Every challenge seemed impossible until someone on the team discovered a way to overcome it. Then came the moment that would determine whether all the sacrifices, sleepless nights, and countless hours of work had been worthwhile. The first engine start. The workshop fell silent as the team prepared for ignition. Months of effort depended on what would happen next. When the starter engaged and the massive W16 engine roared back to life, the room erupted with excitement. A hypercar that many experts believed would never run again had taken its first breath. But by that point, the project had become about far more than rebuilding a Bugatti. Millions of people around the world were following the journey. Automotive enthusiasts, engineers, and industry leaders were debating what the rebuild represented. Was it proof that independent workshops could repair even the world's most advanced vehicles? Or did it raise important questions about safety and manufacturer oversight? Regardless of which side people supported, one thing was undeniable. The project had sparked a global conversation about ownership, repair rights, and the limits of manufacturer control. In the end, the rebuilt Bugatti Chiron Per Sport became more than a restored hypercar. It became a symbol of determination, innovation, and the belief that extraordinary challenges can be overcome through skill and perseverance. What started as a blacklisted wreck, destined for the scrap heap, evolved into one of the most remarkable automotive rebuilds ever attempted, proving that sometimes the impossible is only impossible until someone decides to try.